the First Amendment, you know that.
Behavior is not.
Yes, it is.
Message.
It is.
Not always.
Yep, it is.
Always.
It is here.
You're being
Because
recorded.
of your message, you think you can do whatever you want?
What have I done that's illegal?
Okay, well, you can't be stepping out in the street, especially when a car's coming through here. You can't obstruct any type of foot or vehicular traffic.
Not doing that.
That's pretty basic. It's all on recording. I've been sitting here monitoring, so you can say what you want, and you can, you know, you're antagonizing people, which is obvious.
That's
you know,
First Amendment, right, sir?
Right, and so is his to flip you off, which you started then challenging. So it's okay if you want to have your First Amendment, but you also have to respect other people's First Amendment as well.
Yeah, I did.
Didn't sound like it. So I mean,
to say what they want.
Just, you
They
can say what you want, but you need to be real careful about the volume, because there is an issue with the how far it is and what's reasonable and what's not. And I know that you're going to have your other say and your other opinion, and that's fine. And when there's something that is very concrete, I will make sure, because I understand everything that's going on here. This isn't my first day. I have no problem talking to you. Like I said, my recorder's been going the whole time. So as long as you guys are doing what you think is right and you're willing to stand up on that, and if you end up violating the law in the process, the First Amendment doesn't cover everything, and that has been established.
I'm aware of that.
So you just need to be very careful, that's all. Make sure you're not breaking any laws, because it's very close. I've already watched some video that I can say that laws have been broken.
Where?
I'll get into that, and I'm not going to get into it right now because it's an investigation. So if people are recording...
If you're not going to charge me, then you don't need to tell me, but...
You're right, I'm not right now. Doesn't mean I won't. Because I'm not to that point yet where I want to, where I want to conclude the investigation, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to.
What do you need to investigate?
I'm still investigating a potential crime. Couple. Disorderly conduct and unreasonable sound amplification. Yeah?
You know that's bogus.
It's not.
You know it's ridiculous.
It's not. And don't tell me what I know, and I won't tell you what you know.
I'm just telling you, that's obvious.
You can feel that way. That's your
disorderly
opinion, that
conduct.
it's ridiculous, and that's your opinion. You can have that. It doesn't make you right. Which is 99% of what we're dealing with out here is you feel you're right, and that's great. And I respect your opinion. Doesn't mean I have to agree with you. Doesn't mean I have to think that you're going to influence my actions because of your opinion. Totally fine. That's what the First Amendment's about.
And the First Amendment protects everything I've done here so far.
I don't know that that's really the case, but I'm going to watch my words just like you are. Right? So I would just continue that you guys make sure you're walking the line like you are, and at some point if you step off of it, that's what you're willing to do. That's okay. And I respect you guys for being able to stand up for what you believe and what the lengths you're willing to go to for your beliefs and your opinions. Totally fine. Utmost respect for that. I wish more people had more convictions. Doesn't mean that they have to agree with you.
I wish the same.
Yeah, doesn't mean that everybody on this earth has to agree with you.
Well, it's not agreeing with me, it's agreeing with what God says.
Your interpretation of what God says.
Well, I mean, I know, his words.
And that's okay. Everything is opinion. There's a lot that's opinion.
Well, God's
and
word
that's fine. I'm not going to get into the, because I'm not the moral police.
Well,
the criminal police.
God is. And we all know what his word says.
And I'm not going to get into a debate with you. There's no point. That's not my job. Because in order to protect you guys and your rights, I have to remain impartial. I'm just the fact finder regarding laws. That's it. Laws that are put into place by the government. The same government that you're using to, you know, and you're standing behind, same government that determines freedom of speech. The First Amendment that you bring up repeatedly is the same government that creates these laws that you're arguing against.
Well, it's not allowed to murder babies. It's not,
okay,
it's not
the First Amendment, right? Supreme Court, right?
Well, Supreme Court doesn't make law.
Supreme Court, but that you're bringing up the First Amendment, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're using?
Well, yeah.
But isn't it also the Supreme Court that made that decision?
No.
Is also what made the decision that
they didn't write the First Amendment.
Right, they made a ruling. They made a ruling on the First Amendment on this type of stuff, which is fine. But are you only agreeing with the Supreme Court when it agrees with you? Is that what I'm saying?
When it agrees to God's law, because that's the ultimate standard we have.
And that's fine. So you will only listen to what the laws are when it's relevant to your belief and interpretation of God's law.
When it aligns with God's law, because otherwise it's no law at all.
And I understand that's your interpretation.
Well, I'm just saying that's.
There are many people that disagree with you, and that's okay.
And we see how culture turns out when that happens. If you have a nation in chaos, a nation full of mass murder.
That's your beliefs. I
it's
respect
pretty obvious,
your beliefs.
You know, this country.
I respect your beliefs.
I mean, they're murdering people in this building over here through the bill.
I respect that you believe that.
And you have a duty to protect those children. No matter how small or young they are, you have a duty to protect them as an officer.
I respect your beliefs.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Okay. I am.
I'm just informing you have a duty as an officer to protect those children.
I have a duty to follow the laws. That's my job.
Well, you're not. Okay. I respectfully say you're not doing that right now, sir.
So, am I respecting your First Amendment rights?
Right now, it appears you are. It appears.
Right. So it's the same laws that I have to follow the First Amendment rights, that I have to stay impartial, and I can't get involved in the religious aspect of this.
Well, I mean,
or I would be no better, and I would just be violating your rights. Correct?
Well, I'm saying what they're doing here is against the law. Because Roe v. Wade's not law.
It's against your opinion of God's law.
It's against the Constitution. The 14th Amendment. They're depriving people of life.
That has been ruled on by the Supreme Court.
But that's not law. Roe v. Wade is not law. It's an opinion.
Okay.
And
so, okay, and that's your opinion.
So they're well. I mean, even pro-abortion people have said that it was, in their words, a bad law. They recognize that it was not determined in a way that was constitutional. And
okay. I guess you need to fight that with the Constitution and the Supreme Court then.
Well, we just need to ignore the Supreme Court.
No, we don't get to. So you want me to ignore things from the Supreme Court? Is that what you're implying I should do?
When they go against God's law. When they go
I should pick and choose when
they go against the Constitution. No, not ignore
my interpretation.
Not ignore everything.
It has to come down to my belief then, right?
Well, it comes down to what's right and wrong. We know what's right and wrong.
Who interprets that?
God does. God's already
so
laid it
are
down.
you God?
No, but I know what God says.
How?
His law, written on your heart and my heart, the law of God.
So if it's written on my heart, then I should be feeling it, and I then make that decision based on my interpretation.
Well, it's not how we feel; it's what we know to be true. We have the law of God.
Okay,
and we have the
so
word
it's
of God.
what I know to be true.
Well, we all know it to be true. We just suppress it.
But you're doing all this based on what you know to be true. You're saying that everybody knows it already.
Yeah, the 10 Commandments were written on our hearts.
Okay.
So we know.
Okay, you're just saying that I should know, that I do know, but I just don't realize it. I mean, and that I should act in a manner that you think is correct.
Well, it's not what I said.